بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم تقبل منا وتب علينا يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك، ولا تجعلنا مولانا من الغافلين عن ذكرك ولا عن طاعتك، وتب علينا واغفر لنا وارحمنا يا أكرم الأكرمين. The hadith today is hadith Sayyida Aisha radiallahu anha with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam regarding a story about 11 women they have gathered in the Jahiliyyah. It is not in Islam. And each one of those ladies is talking about her husband. The last lady of those 11, Sayyida Aisha radiallahu anha, she chose to be speaking about it, in a lengthy way. And so the hadith took the name of that particular lady, number 11, which is Zarue. And the hadith is reported by البخاري ومسلم and Sunan Nasa'i. And there are other people of Sunnah, they reported the hadith. So the hadith has different narrations. I chose one today that was reported in Sahih Muslim. Now I'm going to go with it. And because of the lack of time, and there are so much to cover, and I'm sure that there are going to be question and answer, and you guys are late about 15 minutes. So without any further thing, let me go through at least, let me explain what those 11 ladies has talked about. So, Sayyida Aisha radiallahu anha said that the 11 women have sat down and they have made a promise that they will talk about their husbands and they will not, hide anything. So they will reveal all the secrets. They will talk, in a very, explicit way. So anyway, the first one said, I'm going to go through the Arabic text and then I'm going to explain the difficulty of the words with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The first one said, زوجي لحم جمل غث على رأس جبل وعر لا سهل فيرتقى ولا سمين فينتقى. First of all, the meat of the camel is not very flavorful. It is not very much accepted as much as the meat of the sheep or the goat or the cow. The definition of the ibil, the cows, their meat comes to the last category. It is not very lovable. So beside that, she had claimed that her husband is like the meat of the camel. First of all, that means he is not very good, very well accepted. And then it says ghath. And ghath, it is the bad, when the meat goes bad, it becomes ghath. Al-ghath, the word in Arabic means bad, it's not good. So beside it is the meat of a camel, on top of it she gave it another description that it is bad, okay? And even look at how she, scale things up. First of all, it is bad because it is the meat of a camel. Second of all, she said it is bad. Third of all, she said it is like you have to climb a very difficult mountain in order for you to get to it. You see? And على رأس جبل وعر, that means you have to climb in order for you to get that bad meat, you have to go all the way down. And it is not easy to climb, and it is not very good to choose. So this lady, broke every bone of her husband, nothing good about it. The second lady said, زوجي لا أبث الخبر إني أخاف ألا أذره إن أذكره أذكر أجره وأجره. The lady said, the second one said, I cannot speak about my husband, that she lives in fear. If she speaks about him, he might divorce her. And If I have to speak, I have to say عجوره وبجره. What does عجوره mean? عجوره mean اللهم صل على سيدنا ونبينا محمد. البجر العجر, you see somebody, he has those veins in his neck, they go thick when they go mad. They said this is عجوره. When somebody is so mad, those veins in the neck, they show up so much. So this they call عجوره. And when somebody also is mad and he's screaming, the navel will become exploded, it will become big. What does that mean? That means that the lady wants to say that if I'm going to speak about him, I'm going to speak about his bad act, the hidden one and the apparent one. The apparent one is like the vein in the neck. The hidden one is talking about his navel when it is blown up. So as if that this lady is saying, I'm not going to speak about him. If I speak about him, he's going to divorce me. But if I have to say something, I have to expose him and tell about, you know, the thing that is hidden and apparent from his bad behavior. So again, that this second lady did not leave anything in her husband to speak about. And the third lady said, if you have a question about a word that you did not understand, please raise the word, because we're not going to wait until the end. We may not have time, and then you might forget. The third lady, she said, زوجي العشرة إن أنطق أطلق وإن أسكت أعلق. Al-Ashnaq in the language means the guy, you know, in a slang language, in Arabic we said, Al-Tawil wal-Habil. You know, Al-Ashnaq, he is tall and he is full. Okay? He is no good. Al-Tawil wal-Habil, that's Al-Ashnaq. In Anfiq, Utallaq, if I speak, if I open my mouth, I will be divorced. Here, we need to distinguish. She doesn't mean that if I speak now in front of you. No. In my house with him, if I open my mouth and discuss anything, I'll talk with him about anything, I will ask him anything, he will say you're divorced. And if I become quiet, Allah, he neglects me, you know, he does not care about me, I have no value, as if that I am suspended mu'allaq. Mu'allaq in Arabic, in this language, means she is not even a wife and she is not even a divorce. This is what they call it, mu'allaq. So she said, either way, I am in a bad situation if I open my mouth in his house.
Brother Abdullah, mu'allaq, does that come from hanging?
Mu'allaq, that means I do not have a different status.
Is that the same?
The wife that is divorced. The one is not divorced as neglected, they call it mu'allaqa. She really does not have a relationship as a husband, and she is living alone, and she cannot go married again because she still have a husband. So this is what they call mu'allaqa.
Between a rock and a hard place.
No.
Neither one or
the other. The fourth one said, so again now we have three ladies, they spoke so badly about their husband. They're no good. The fourth one said, زوجي كليل تهامة لا حر ولا قر ولا مخافة ولا سآمة. This is the first one who speaks good about her husband. My husband is كليل تهامة. Layl Tuhama in the Arabic Peninsula is known to be very beautiful night. The air is so nice. It is not hot and it is not cold. La har wa la qar. So it means like my wife, my husband is very nice. You know, he's easy to get along with. I'm happy to live with it. Like somebody in that particular night, he is so happy. Beautiful weather, beautiful breeze, beautiful things. It is not hot, it is not cold. And also, And he said, لا مخافة ولا سآمة. I can speak whatever I want. I can do whatever I want. I'm not afraid that I'm going to get punished by him or I'm going to get divorced. And also, he is a talkative person. He is a nice person. You see, I can talk to him. There's no sa'ama. I cannot get bored with him. You see? You know? So good. The fifth one, she said, زوجي إذا دخل فهد وإن خرج أسد ولا يسأل عما عهد. يقول here أسد has two تشكيلات. أسد or أسد. You know? For the priming is إذا دخل فهد وإذا خرج أسد ولا يسأل عما عهد. Again, this fifth one she said, the scholar here when they explained the hadith said, is this a compliment or this is degrading? Most of them they said it's a compliment. When he comes, he is like a fahid. What's fahid in Arabic? It's like a cougar. You see? What's the description of a cougar? A cougar. The description of it is whenever he comes home, he goes to sleep. He sleeps. The fahid, this is one of his nature, that whenever he gets to his, place, he goes to sleep. So she's talking about her. My husband is that whenever he comes in, whenever he came into the house, he goes to sleep. But I don't want you to think that this is a bad sign, because when he leaves the house, he's like a lion. You see, it's only inside the house he seems to be, fahid. ولا يسأل عما عهد. ولا يسأل عما عهد. This is another criteria that ladies like. And the Arabs, this is a problem with the Arabs in particular. A person comes to the house and he brings 2, pounds of meat. Then he asks his wife, what did you do with the meat? The dish that you cooked, it didn't take that much. Where's the rest of the meat? Did you give it to your parents? Did you give it to your friend? Did you go with your friend? Always they ask, what happened to the rice that I brought you? What happened to this that I brought you? And this person here, he is so generous. Whatever he gives, whatever he brings home, he does not ask. The lady does whatever she wants to do. So this is a sign of his generosity. ولا يسأل عما عهد. الله أكبر الله أكبر. The sixth lady said, number 6, زوجي إذا أكل لف وإذا شرب اشتف وإذا اضطجع التف ولا يولج الكف ليعلم البث. My husband, when he comes home, I prepare for him a very good meal. So whenever he sits down to eat, he eats from here and here and here and here and here. He eats everything. إذا أكل التف, لف عليهم كلهم. He eats from every dish. وإذا شرب اشتف. He drinks so much until he gets so full. Shtef, they said, until nothing is left. Or he drank till the end of it, or he drank until he gets enough. You see? وَإِذَا ضَجَعَ الْتَفْ. When he goes to sleep, he doesn't ask about anybody. He sleeps by himself. He does not call his wife to come and sleep with him. He sleeps by himself and he turns around and he goes. وَلَا يُولِجُ الْكَفَّ لِيَعْلَمَ الْبَثْ. He does not start the conversation with me. He does not want to listen to anything I say. You see, sometimes the husband comes home, he sees his wife very busy, not very happy, does not have a smile. He said, what's wrong, honey? What's going on? What do you have? Somebody is bothering you. This is yulijul kaf. That means he starts the conversation to know what's going on. This guy ignores everything. You see, even though some of the scholars said it has a different meaning. You know, somebody made you all those beautiful dishes, made you a nice meal, and prepared for you the setting. Then you're happy, your house is clean, your kids are asleep, or they're playing, or they are, you know, very well prepared. So we say, Jazakillah khair, you know, you're doing a wonderful job. Jazakillahu anna kul khair, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala this. You know, he will talk, he will thank her. This guy does not do nothing. Does not open a conversation, does not thank her, does not know anything if she bothering her or upsetting her. ولا يوجد الكف ليعلم الإثم. Number 7 said, زوجي عيايا وغيايا طباقا كل داء له داء شجك أو فلك أو جمع كلا لك. ما شاء الله. عيايا, the first one, and a person cannot speak well. Or an in Hadeeth Abu Zarue radiallahu anhu, and he said, Ya Rasulullah, فَإِنْ كَانَ عَيِيًّا, that means he cannot do anything right. So al-ayyi has two meanings. Whatever you want to take into this hadith, it's fine. So, but anyway, it's a bad description. Saying that my husband does not say anything right, or my husband does not do anything right. وغيايا من الغي. الغي هو الضلال. My husband, if he want to say anything, it will come out wrong. If he will does anything, it will come out wrong. You see? It doesn't come to be right. طباقة, in our slang in Syria, we said about a person, خلاص اتركه مطبق هذا مقفل. That means he's closed up. He has no reason to talk to him. You cannot reason with him. You see, he closed. خلاص. He cannot see your point of view. He is not even open. You said open or مطبق. Open or مقفل, مقفل. You know. So she's saying that my husband, with all this, on top of this, he is مطبق. He closed up everything. كل داء له داء. Any problem you think of, he has it. Every problem you could think of, it's in him. يعني in the شراح الحديث, the one who explained the hadith, they said this is the word description you can give your husband. There's nothing good in him. Not the way he talks, not the way he acts, and he is bad, he cannot discuss with him, you cannot reason with him, nothing. شجك أو فلك أو جمع كلا لك. شجك, الشج, that if she speaks up or she argues with him, he might beat her up, that open her head. Or falak, falak means to break a bone. Or both of them. جمع كلا لك. You know, if she talks with him, if she discusses with him. So, bad manner, bad the way he lives, bad moral value, bad behavior, bad in every possible way. So, the eighth lady said, زوجي المس, مس أرنب, والريح ريح زرنب. She's talking about her husband, that he is soft. Al-arnab, the fur of the arnab, the rabbit, is soft. So he is nice, he is soft, he is calm. وَالرِّيحُ رِيحُ زَرْنَبْ. رِيحُ زَرْنَبْ, زَرْنَبْ, it's a plant. It's known in the Arabic Peninsula. It has a beautiful smell. The Arabs, they used to cut this and bring it home. They put it under the bed, they put it under the pillow, they put it between the clothes, they put it between this. It has good smell. So this lady, that's all what she said. Said, my husband is soft and nice and beautiful smell. And that's what the man's supposed to be. He's supposed to take showers, supposed to clean himself up, because the lady likes her husband to be a gentleman, to be nice. You know, you don't get close to him and say, my God. You know, especially if he's working all day and he smelled, because of perspiration or something. So this is talking good. And that's what the Prophet ﷺ used to do. The Prophet ﷺ, many hadith we have that he used to smell very well. Salama radiallahu anhu said that the Prophet ﷺ came into my house and he slept and he perspired. It was hot. She said, after he left, we tried to get from the pillow that he sweat because he smells good. This is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But from him, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Sayyidah Aisha radiallahu anha said in the hadith of Muslim, that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, whenever he used to come to the house, he started with al-miswak, to brush his teeth, talking to his wife, kissing his wife, hugging his wife, smells bad, something comes out bad, So he always, think of it. And even Sayyidah Aisha radiallahu anha said in the Bukhari that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he wakes up at night, he used to have the miswak, to smell good, to clean good. Even though, to show you how important it is, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he was dying, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and so somebody walked into the house and there's a miswak with him and he kept looking at him. He cannot talk. He was not able to talk, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And then Sayyidah Aisha, the smart how wife of him, she was seeing that the Prophet ﷺ is looking at him, and she looked at him and she said, Ya Rasulullah, كَأَنَّكَ تُرِيدُهُ, as if that you want some. And so she took some of that and she cut it, and she said, أَفَلَا أَلُوهُ لَكَ, and she made it soft, because the miswak, when you first get it, it might be a little hard, so you have to chew on it. So she chewed on it for him, and she gave it to him and chewed it. And that's why I said, Aisha radiallahu anha said, the Prophet ﷺ passed away from this dunya, and the last thing between him and me is my saliva is in his mouth. وَرِيقِي فِي رِيقِهِ sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The number 9 said, زوجي رفيع العماد طويل النجاد عظيم الرماد قريب البيت من النار قريب البيت من النار. She's talking about her husband as a handsome. This is a tall person. It is not like al-ashnaq. Al-ashnaq طويل وأهبل, tall and full. No, this طويل العماد, he is a tall person with respect. طويل العماد. طويل النجاد, because he is, good and respected. And najad is whenever you put the sword into the house of it, the house of the sword is called a najad. So his sword is so long, because he is a tall person and he has his sword, long like him, and so it goes by his side. So it's just showing you that he is a respectable person. Azim al-Ramad, when a person cooks too much, when they have to cook over there, they don't have anything except that they collect some wood and they make fire. When you make wood and make fire, then you have ashes. Azim al-Ramad, he has too much ashes. It means that he cooked too much, he slaughtered too much for the people who's coming over. That means he is generous. He's a welcoming person. قريب البيت من النار, he always stay home trying to welcome the people who's coming to visit, to slaughter for them, to cook for them. A person who does not want people to come, a person who does not want to be generous, who does not want to feed people, what he will do, he will leave home. So if somebody come, where is Flan, where is so-and-so, he is not here, so salaam alaikum, they leave. So he stays home to welcome those people, to cook for them, to feed them, because he is generous. That's what it means, قَرِيبُ الْبَيْتِ مِنَ النَّارِ. That means he always stays there trying to wait for the people to come. Number 10, the lady said, زوجي مالك وما مالك مالك خير من ذلك. له إبل كثيرات المبارك قليلات المسارع إذا سمعنا صوت المزهر أيقن أنهن هوالك. Now, her husband, his name is Malik. She said, what do you think of Malik? Malik is better than anything you can think of. Malik is very good. Better than anything you can think of. له إبل كثيرات المبارك. He has so many camels. They sit. He keeps them close by. Mabarik, the way they sit. Ibruk, sit. What does that mean? It means that the person who does not feed anybody, he will hire somebody and they take all those camels and let him take him, far away, mar'a. Why? Because if somebody comes, ahlan sahlan, come on in, I don't have anything available, well, the ibil and everything else, they are away. No. This guy has some of the ibil sitting right there. So if anybody comes, they are ready to be slaughtered and to be cooked and to be fed to those people. Qalilatul Masarih, he does not send them away. He keeps them close by. In the same meaning. Kathiratul Mabarik, Qalilatul Masarih, that means he keeps them close by, ready to be slaughtered. إذا سمعنا صوت المزهر أيقنا أنهن هوالك. What is المزهر? The Arabs, they used to have a custom. Imagine that you are in a desert, and then they have all those tents, and people are around, and there are camels sitting around here, and then there's a tent for the ladies, wives and daughters and relatives and everything they have there, and then the guy sitting in his tent. So whenever they see people coming over, they have one of their kids, one of those ghilman, they call them the khadam, the servant, boy's servant, they have him. They beat on al-mizhar. It's like something that they beat on. So they can tell those Arabs, come on, you're welcome. If you do not want those Arabs to come, you do not beat on the mizhar. So beating on this mizhar is giving a signal to those people that are still away that you're very welcome here. Come on over. You see, we're ready for you. So what she's saying, the lady, is that those ibil, it becomes accustomed to them. Every time they hear that the mizhar is beating up, they know that they're going to be slaughtered because somebody is coming. You see, it's a beautiful Arabic language. إذا سمعنا صوت المزهر أيقنا أنهن هوالك, because there are some group of people coming over, so those ibil, they know that they're going to be slaughtered in order for them to be fed to those group. Number 11, this is come Zarue. Zarue, this is the extensive one of the hadith, and this is the lady which is meant by it. She said, Abu Zarue, فما أبو زرع أناس من حلي أذني. What does anasa mean? Anasa means من النوس. النواس in Arabic? This is a nawas. You see? So it is the movement. So that means Abu Zarue gave me so much jewelry that I put on my ear, so every time I move, they're going back and forth. أناس من حلي أذني وملأ من شحم عضدي. I was thin, but if he is generosity, I used to eat too much at his house, so I became, a little bit fat. وبجحني فبجحت إلى نفسي. In the morning, MashaAllah, Zarue, you're so beautiful. you're so nice, you're so cute, you're so, elegant. So he keeps giving her compliment. She said, فَبَجَّحَنِي حَتَّى بَجَّحْتُ نَفْسِي. He talks to me so nice until I believe myself. So, فَبَجَّحْتُ إِلَى نَفْسِي. And where did I come from? وَجَدَنِي فِي أَهْلِ غُنَيْمَةٍ بِشِقٍّ. When he found me before he married me, that means me and my family, we were living in a shiq. Shiq here, the scholar of the hadith, they said it means two things. It means that we were living in mashaqqa wa juhd. We were living in poverty and difficulties. Other scholars said no. It means that he found me in a very neglected area, like between the mountains. They find those caves and this and that. They live there because they don't have a place in the village to live by. So those poor people, what they do is they go to the mountain, they go to the valley. They found something to hide under shiq. It's a cavity, it's a shiq that they can stay away from the heat of the sun or the rain. So either way, that means she was in a very bad situation. فَجَعَلَنِي فِي أَهْلِ صَهِيلٍ وَأَطِيدٍ. And he made me an owner, في أهل, or he put me in a place, I became among people, أهل صهيل. Sahil is for the khayl, for the horses. That means they have so many horses. Atid for the ibil, for the camels, because the camel, his foot is so big. He said, يَأُطُّ أَطَّى. This is what the camel is. So that means he put me, rather than I was poor and neglected and living in difficulty, he put me in a place I became one of his family, and that they have horses, they have camels, And also, وَأَطِيدْ وَدَائِس. What do you mean by da'is? That means horses and ibil. And da'is. Da'is in the Arabic, it means that those people, they are farmers, that they have land to cultivate. So where the word da'is comes from, when you pick up the wheat or sanabil, what they do is they step on it to break it away. They break the seed from the outside. They break it away from the housing of it. You see? So this is what they call it da'is. Da'is, that means to separate. That means that they have land, they cultivate, they do farming, and then when they pick the farming is, in order for them to get the seeds out, they have to step on it to break it away from them. So that's ودائس وملك. Milk, this is a very strange word. Milk, it has, but most likely it is milk. What's the milk? The milk, المنخول شو بيقولوا؟
سيف.
منخول يا جماعة.
سيف.
ها؟
سيف.
سيف؟
Yeah.
منخول is something ground. They put stuff in it and they go like that in order for the bad stuff to go down there, and they only leave the good stuff up there. Strainer? Strainer? Kathy, help me. Strainer. Yeah. The Arabs did not know this. And the Arab knew this, but it was not used. You see? Because they did not eat wheat. Most of the Arabs, because they are poor, they eat sha'ir, barley. Even the sha'ir, the Prophet, the Aisha radiallahu anha said in the hadith in the Bukhari, توفي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وما ملأ بطنه من الشعير. Even though the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم died and he did not eat enough from a sha'ir. Imagine that that means they're very high people. They're very rich people. They cultivate land, they grow up wheat, and they get it, they step on it, they break it, and then they take it and they put it in the mouth, and they go like this, and they get the good stuff out. You know, it's like the flour that we have right now. So this is a very high society. So now with number 11, and she's talking about Abu Zarue. He's generous. He gave her so much of the jewelry that they go like this, and she became full, you know, because of the food he gave her. And he always also complimented her. فَبَجَّحَنِي فَبَجَّحْتُ إِلَى نَفْسِي. She believed in him. وَجَدَنِي فِي أَهْلِ غُنَيْمَةٍ بِشِرٍ. He found me to be poor and living in difficulties, and he put me among, you know, horses and camels, and they have land to cultivate, and we have this trainer, you know, that we can get the best of the wheat. And then we start by فَعِنْدَهُ أَقُولُ فَلَا أُقَبَّحْ. With him, whatever I say is okay. He does not reprimand me. He does not stop me. He does not say, oh, you don't know, you don't understand. And many of those, our men, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive all of us, whenever the wife said something, he's trying to shut her off. That's not a good sign. But also, be nice. I mean, you know, blah, 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 all day long. يعني. But whatever she said, فَلَا أُقَبَّحْ وَأَرْقُضُ فَأَتَصَبَّحْ. أرقد فأتصبح means that I sleep late. The sun comes up. Those people are jahiliyyah. They are not Muslim. So they do not have Fajr prayer. So, but with her husband, a lot of men, why don't you get up, fix me breakfast, make me the coffee, do this, do that. You sleep late, and this is one of them. So Hamza said, you know, with him, I sleep and then the sun comes up. That means I'm relaxed. He does not impose on me any pressure. That's one meaning. Other scholars took another meaning, that she is not responsible to make breakfast for him or to take care of the children. Why? Because he has maid, he has servant. They can fix breakfast, they can do this. So if a person has a maid, she can make the coffee, so the wife does not have to. She can make breakfast, so the wife does not have to. She has more time to relax and to sleep. وَأَرْقُضُ فَأَتَصَبَّحْ. I sleep late. وَأَشْرَبُ فَأَتَقَمَّحْ. I drink, you know, whatever drink they have, I drink until I become full. I don't want any more. You know, in Arabic said أتقمح أشرب حتى الزهد في الأمر. أتقمح في نوع من الزهد. الزهد, I don't want no more. يعني I am tired of this. يعني a person brings his wife always, for example, apple juice. She drinks too much of it. Why don't you bring something else? You know, orange juice all the day or apple juice. This is called taqammah. In the Bukhari, there is another report for the same story. She said, فَأَشْرَبُ فَأَتَقَنَّحْ. It's a different wording. There is a different meaning between أَتَقَمَّحْ and أَتَقَنَّحْ. أَتَقَنَّحْ means I don't want to drink anymore. I got enough. But because of him, he comes to say, Zarue, drink more. You know, he forces me to drink. Drink more out of his generosity, out of his love. You know, like somebody has a beautiful wife, he loves his wife. Say, please eat some more. She said, I have enough. Please eat some more. You know, he forces her. Ataqannah is a request with some kind of force, but with the loving action. Okay? Now this is Abu Zarue. Because she loves Abu Zarue so much, she's going to speak about Hamay, that most of people, they hate the mother-in-law, you know. But Zarue, she loves Abu Zarue so much, so she's speaking so highly of her mother-in-law, Zarue. And she said, Ummi Abi Zarue. Fama Abi Zarue? What are you talking about? Oh, Abu Zarue, it's something else. عقومها رداح. عقومها رداح. What does al-hukum mean? Al-hukum means that the bags or the container that they put stuff in it. You know, like back home, my mother used to have one big for sugar, burghul, crack wheat, rice, this and that. Those containers, they are called ukum. Ukum. Ukumuha radah. Radah big. It's not small. Yani the husband is so generous, he does not bring her, you know, 1 pound, said put it in a container, or 2 pounds, or then, no. They have a lot. So ukumuha radah. Her container that she puts stuff in it is so large. That means she is generous. وَبَيْتُهَا فَسَاحٌ. وَبَيْتُهَا فَسَاحٌ. And her house is big, it's vast. It is, you know, why? Because there are so many people gonna come over. They are welcoming so many, and then they can feed and make people sleep. So her house is big. So as if that Abu Zarue house is one thing, and his mother's house is another thing. So this is another indication that they have multiple houses. Now, we spoke about Abu Zarue. She spoke about her mother-in-law. Now she's going to speak about the son of Abu Zarue. That means Abu Zarue, he was married to somebody before her. And he had a son, and then we're going to have the story of a daughter. So he has a son and a daughter from previous marriage. So now she's talking about the son. She said, Ibn Abi Zarue, the same thing. Fama Ibn Abi Zarue. What are you talking about, Ibn Abi Zarue? He's something else. مضجعه كمثل شطبة. The way he sleeps, or where he sleeps, مثل شطبة. Well, this is a very difficult language. But the scholars said, palm tree, they have, you know, those things of the palm tree, the side of it. So when they get old, they cut them down. When they cut them down, they take all those leaves off, so it will become like the middle one. It's strong and tall. She's saying that his bed is like that. That means it is narrow. It is not big. An indication that the son is a thin person. But he is so powerful and strong, as if that from the palm tree that he sleeps on, it's strong, you cannot break it. So she's giving him a compliment. He is thin, he is strong and powerful, an indication of the way where he sleeps. Also she said, وَيَشْبِعُهُ ذِرَاعُ الْجَفْرَةِ. Al-Jafra is the female of the goat that is small. Dhira is only the arm, which is not even enough. That means he is not nahum, akul. He is not vicious. He does not eat much. He is elegant, afif. The language is not helping me. He eats little. He eats moderate. He is not جشع. eats too much, so it's enough for him. Also, this is another type of compliment. Now, Bintu Abi Zara. Now we're talking about the daughter of Abu Zara, and she said the same thing. فما بنت أبي زرع طوع أبيها وطوع أمها وملء كسائها وغيظ جارتها. She is a very obedient lady. The daughter of Abu Zara is very obedient, very nice, polite, respects her mother, respects her father. And also, he said, وَمِلْءُ كِسَائِهَا, that means she is very well built good. She is not too fat, she is not too thin, she is good. وَمِلْءُ كِسَائِهَا وَغَيْظُ جَارَتِهَا. The Arabs are so nice, and they choose the very nice word. Al-Jara here is the durra. You know, that means her husband is married to another one beside her. So rather than she said, you know, the other wife of my husband, or they call it in Arabic, al-durra, she said jara, polite. She is nice. وَغَيْضُ جَارَتِهَا, because she is very well put, she is wise, she is beautiful, she is, you know, she has dignity, she is elegant, she is well respected, you know, because her father is respected, her mother is respected, the tribe is respected, and she is very well, and she obedient and polite, and she is very well put together. So, you know, her sister, I mean, the wife of her husband, you know, I don't know what they call it, durra. What's durra in Arabic, in English? Yeah, Kathy?
Second wife. Co-wife. Co-wife.
Co-wife?
Yeah, like a co-operate.
Co-wife, okay, it's easy. Co-wife. I mean, rather than she say co-wife, you know, she said jara, my neighbor. You know, in the same house, elegantly. It has to be. So because that, you know, her co-wife envies her. You know, that's why I said غَيْضُ جَارَتِهَا. Now, Abu Zara has a maid. So we're going to speak about the maid of Abu Zara. جارية أبي زرع. فما جارية أبي زرع؟ لا تبث حديثنا تبثيثا. It's very polite also. She hears and she sees things because she's always in the house running around. But she does not make namima, she does not go talk. She doesn't talk in the back. She does not stab in the back. She does not make fitna, you know, make rumors. Oh, did you hear? She doesn't, you know, move around and spread information. She doesn't do that. Because of Abu Zara is very, you know, took care of her and made her very polite and very nice. وَلَا تَنْقُطُ مِيرَتَنَا تَنْخِيتًا. That means she is not wasteful for the food. She is not wasteful. When she cooks, she is not wasteful. After we finish food, she takes care of the food. She does not throw it away. So she is not wasteful. And also, وَلَا تَمْلَأُ بَيْتَنَا تَعْشِيشًا. She cleans the house. She does not leave dirt around here and there. Very good lady. Doesn't speak much. She does not make rumors. She is not wasteful. She takes care of the house and she cleans it up. This is the riwayah which I'm mentioning to you, reported by Muslim and Imam al-Bukhari and Nasa'i. I told you in the beginning that there are other riwayat that Zara kept talking even about the dog of Abu Zara. Now, since I choose the riwayah of Muslim, I did not go to speak about the dog, so I left him out. So if you're reading somewhere else and there is the dog, you know, he does not bother us at night and he protects us and this and that. The same way. Now, and then she said, Abu Zar'a, one day he went out, فخرج أبو زرع والأوطان تنخض. Abu Zar'a, one day he went out, and it has to be on the springtime, and because where all the sheep are getting milk and all the camels are getting milk, you know, it's beautiful time of the year. You know, springtime is one of the best time of the year. When he went out, here went out, that means he went out of the area that he is in. You see, like, you know, he went to their neighbors, he went to the other village, or he went, that's what it meant here. And she said, فَلَقِيَ امْرَأَةً مَعَهَا وَلَدَانِ لَهَا كَالْفَهْدَيْنِ. He found a woman that has two sons with her. They are very good, it's like cougars, you know. And those, they are يَلْعَبَانِ مِنْ تَحْتِهِ خَصْرِهَا بِرُمَّانَتَيْنِ. They're playing around her, and they have in their hand rumanatain, two pomegranates. Is this true pomegranate, or this is something that the Arabs used to say that they are playing joyfully, they're playing with the fruit, because it's a spring, remember? We're talking about spring. There's fruit, there's this, there's that, and so they're having a good time. And the mother seems to be very well in control, you know, because how do we know she is in control? Because they said, يَلْعَبَانِ مِنْ تَحْتِ خَصْرِهَا. مِنْ تَحْتِ خَصْرِهَا means they are under her control. That means a woman is good, strong, powerful, good character. And it looks like that Abu Zar'a, when he saw that lady with this kind of control, with those two kids, he liked her. She said, فَطَلَّقَنِي وَنَكَحَهَا. He divorced me and he married her. Now, we stop right here. No longer with Abu Zar'a. Abu Zar'a divorces her. The scholars said here, and I heard, being in the masjid here, when somebody divorces his wife, I get a phone call, the so-and-so did this to me, the so-and-so did that to me, cussing and cursing and denying all the good things, you know, and the wife, you know, the lady gets hurt if she gets divorced. So she doesn't say nothing good about the husband. This lady has got divorced, and her husband got married to somebody else, even though she's saying all those good things. She didn't say a bad thing about anything belonged to Abu Zar'a. Why? The scholars said this is the top of being, you know, committed to that person, fulfilled. She loved him so much, to the point that even though he divorces her and he hurt her so much, she couldn't. Her heart will not allow her to say something bad about him. And this is what they call it wafa. What's wafa in English? يا كافي انت ما عارف الحب مو تمام.
Loyalty.
Loyal? Doesn't make it. Loyal, okay. She is so loyal to him, you know, and she loves him. And now we're going to talk about the second husband of Zar'a. She said, فَنَكَحْتُ بَعْدَهُ رَجُلًا ثَرِيًّا. I got married to a person after Abu Zar'a was very rich. رَكِبَ سَرِيًّا. He, you know, walks elegantly, and he drives very expensive camels and expensive horses, you know. Even though some of the shurrah, the one who explained the Sharia, they said they're talking about a very rare kind of horses, or could be rare kind of those camels. He's rich. وأخذ خطية. The guy is so elegant, he got his spear right by his arm. So he's good, he's rich, he drives nicely, and he's powerful. Khatiya al-rumh, the spear, that when a person walks by, as if he makes a line in the ground as he's going by, because it is sand, so whenever he drags it with him, he's making a line. وَأَرَاحَ عَلَيَّ نِعَمًا ثَرِيًّا, and he bestowed on me, he gave me too much of everything. Now, he gave me camels, horses, money, wealth, food, whatever. Too much. وأعطاني من كل رائحة زوجة. أعطاني من كل رائحة زوجة. رائحة here, the scholars said, it is the one that could walk. تروح وتجي, you name it. Horses, camels, sheep, goats, whatever. In the Bukhari, rahimahullah, he said, وَأَعْطَانِي مِنْ كُلِّ ذَابِحَةٍ زَوْجًا. ذَابِحَة, the one that gets to be slaughtered. That means goats, sheep, ibil, cows, whatever. كُلِّ ذَابِحَةٍ زَوْجًا. He gave me too much. Take whatever you want. Generous. وقال كُلِي أُمَّ زَرْعٍ وَمِيرِي أَهْلَكِ. Eat. Enjoy yourself. And give your family. Give your tribe. قالت زرع فلو أني جمعت كل شيء أعطانيه ما بلغ أصغر آنية أبي زرع. If I collect everything that this guy had given me, it will not be an equal of the smallest plate or container that Abu Zar'a had given me. All of this wealth, all of this he gave me, whatever. Why? The scholar said here, it is not a matter of money or wealth that will pleases the wife. It's a matter of husn al-ushra, the way you live with her, the way you compliment her, the way you respect her, the way you listen to her, the way you treat her. You give her love, you give her compassion, you give her care. She can feel it. Sometimes when a wife is working, cooking, taking care of the children all day long, and the husband comes at the end of the day and he says, Jazakillah khair. Wallahi, without you, I wouldn't be able to do this. You're making me good children. You're raising them in a very good way. You're teaching them Quran. Wallahi, ana madinun laki. I owe you so much. Without you, I wouldn't be able to do that. Those words, they didn't take a minute from the husband. The woman will forget everything that is bothering her all day. The woman will be lifted and she gets to be so happy. Now, we're not going to talk about other women. She said, I know about it. Just get out of here. We're not going to talk about those women. We're talking about the normal one, the regular one. The one she appreciates. And also the way you said it. If a husband could say, the way he said it could make an effect. If he said it sincerely, she can feel it. If he's being joyful and playful and whatever, she can sense it. And also, the rest of the action explain some of those wording. But anyway, so it seems like this lady, Zar'a, the way Abu Zar'a had treated her, it doesn't matter all the materialistic things. He made her beautiful. He made her nice. He complimented her. Remember in the beginning she said, فَبَجَّحَنِي فَبَجَّحْتُ إِلَى نَفْسِي. This explains everything. He always talked to me nice. He always complimented me. He always pushed me to be good. And I am good and I believe in myself. I feel in confidence, and I love that. So the other guy, she didn't say فَبَجَّحَنِي. He said, he only gave me. He gave me materialistic things. Take. But where is the good deed? Where is the husn al-ishra, the companionship? Where's all of this? And the scholar, that's what they said. They said that's the difference between this and that, even though the scholar gave Zarue a very good credit because she is a faithful lady, she is a nice lady, she is a loyal lady, you know, she does not speak bad about any of the stuff. She is appreciative. And this is maybe what we need to get out of the story and ask ourselves, are we appreciative? Are we accepting things? Do we forgive? My husband is going to make a mistake. My husband is going to be coming home grouchy. And I'm going to sitting all day long, working so hard to make his house clean, beautiful, children nice, children this, teaching them, taking care of them, preparing food, preparing. And he comes home and he's grouchy. He doesn't say anything. Well, be forgiving a person. Maybe he has a difficult time, you know, between his co-worker, between the company, between whatever he's doing. Maybe he's hardship, financially not stable, he is in need. Maybe. There's so many things. He's a human being. Put that in your mind. Somebody might say, well, I put that in my mind 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, but every day of my life is like this. Well, he's wrong then. Definitely, he's wrong. But what are you going to do? Take care of those children. You divorces him, you finish from him. What's going to happen to the children? I don't even have to think about myself. I have to think about the people around me. My decision does not only affect me, it has to be affecting other people around me. So, have that. So anyway, to finish the story, it said, and after she finished all of this, and the riwayah of Muslim and al-Bukhari, the Prophet ﷺ turned to Aisha anha, and he said, I will be to you, or I am to you, like Abu Zarue. I am like Abu Zarue. The way he treated his wife, to you, to Aisha anha, I am like Abu Zarue. This is the end of the riwayah that reported by al-Bukhari or Muslim. And Imam al-Nasa'i, rahimahullah, had added one more, that the Prophet ﷺ said, I am to you like Abu Zarue, وَلَكِنِّي لَا أُطَلِّقُ. This extra is only by al-Nasa'i. It is not by the report of al-Bukhari or Muslim. I am not saying it's not authentic. I'm saying it is there. The scholar did not make much of it, you know. But the Prophet ﷺ does not, he make talaq. The people who does not accept that, they said, because this is not true. Because the Prophet ﷺ gave talaq to Hafsa radiallahu anha. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered him to, you know, have her back. So what I can go, no, but maybe he said, the people who said, no, this extra is authentic because he does not mean to make talaq to Aisha in particular, radiallahu anha wa ardaha. This is the end of the report, and this is the end of the. Are we done, or do we have something? What?
If you have questions, David.
Do you find it?
I want somebody to speak loud. Whoever is going to speak loud. I don't hear very well.
Do you think that Rasulullah, Prophet Muhammad, he was showing his humanity, his kindness when he said, "I'm like Abu Zarue" to Aisha, because he's the prophet, and his life is consumed with Allah, that it almost is a humbling sort of reference to his human kindness too. Do you see that, and also do you see anything about it being related to backbiting? I see a lot of scholars not wanting to say that because it was a discussion among women together and a permission to talk. So they tend not to call it backbiting when they talked about their husbands.
First of all, I said in the beginning that this hadith is a backbiting. Okay? But what's made it permissible is we're talking about a place is in Jahiliyyah, before Islam. Those women, they're not Muslim. So Sayyidah Aisha radiallahu anha is reporting about 11 women they have gathered before Islam, and they talked about their husbands. Okay? So it is Majlis Namima, put it that way. Also the scholars said, and Namima, to speak bad about somebody, some of the scholars said you have to name him. I can make Namima, a small one. I'm going to say, somebody came to me and told me this and that. I didn't mention the name, I didn't mention the description, I didn't mention nothing. And sometimes, even though if you could call it Namima, this particular backbiting or whatever, it is good to get the wisdom out of it. And I did not chastise anybody. What I am saying, it happens. There are a lot of ladies, I'm saying, there are a lot of ladies, they speak so bad about their husbands. Did I name those ladies? No. Is this namima that something is happening? Yes. But it is not, in a way. To take the wisdom of it, that you should not speak bad about your husband. If you have complained, do something constructive to fix it. But just don't go around and speak of this and that. That's the second part of your question. The first part, which is good, when the Prophet said, I am to you like Abu Zarue Um Zarue. That's the part that you mentioned. I'm going to ask you back. Does the Prophet ﷺ say a lie? No. Does he say something beside the truth? No. So when he told her, I am like Abu Zarue to Zarue, that means, Ya Aisha, open your mind and your eyes and think about the things that I do to you. Am I to you like Abu Zarue or not? I take care of you. I pamper you. I call you beautiful name. I call you Ya Aish. I speak with you. I spend nights with you. Even though at night I take you and we go outside and we walk like what we did here. I race with you. Many times, imagine that the leader of the Ummah, the president of the Ummah, the king of the Ummah, the prophet of the Ummah, the wise of the Ummah, the scholar of the Ummah, the Prophet ﷺ, all of this. He is in the army. He tells the army, he said, move forward. Move forward. Leave me on the back. Why? Ya Rasulullah, I want to race Aisha. Aisha, come and let's race. How beautiful he is. How nice he is. Somebody is talking to his wife. And Anas radiallahu anhu said in the hadith in the Bukhari, I served the Prophet ﷺ for 10 years. He had never reprimanded me. He never punished me. He never made me wrong. He never told me to things that I didn't do. Why didn't you do it? And the things that I have done, why did you do it? He didn't do that. That's with Anas, with his maid, with his, So imagine with his wife. He nothing like that. So when he told her, here it's a difficult issue here with the scholar, the way they explained it. They said, it's not only a compliment like, I'm going to be to you like Abu Zarue to Zarue. No, but it's a reminder. Look and think on the back. Wasn't I nice to you? And then the Prophet ﷺ, Aisha radiallahu anha said in the hadith in the Bukhari, when she was asked about the Prophet ﷺ in his house. They came, some people that asked Aisha radiallahu anha, said, how's the Prophet ﷺ fi ahlihi? He said, kana fi ahlihi, يخيط ثوبه ويرقع نعله ويقوم في خدمة أهله. He will help us. If we need to do something, he is there to help us. If there's nothing, he sit down and he sew dress or he saw his shoes. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But the point is, هو في خدمة أهله. Who's أهله? His wives. You see? So it is true what he said. It's a reminder. Or some other scholar, they said, you should be nice to your wife and be talking to them nicely and be complimenting them. Because here's the Prophet, whenever he gets the chance to talk nice to his wife, he will talk nice. So they have those three different meanings. There are other scholars who they have different, broader meaning, but the more we talk, the further we go away from the exact text, you know. But all of these are there. Happy? Now, Sister Mesa, hear what she's saying, but I'm not going to be able to.
I just want to say what I get from that hadith, because I've heard that hadith before. I look at the point that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam listened to his wife tell that long story. And he didn't interrupt her one time, say, okay, get on, hurry up. Like sometimes, when wives talk to their husband, but they just get to the point. He didn't do that. He respected her and let her tell that very long story to him. And then he commented at the end. That's what I think of that as well.
بتقول لك تعلمت من هذا الدرس من الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم كان كثير صبور وما قاطعها ولا مرة مع انه القصة كثير طويلة. فهي تعلمت من هذا الدرس انه الرجال لازم يسمع لمرته وحتى ما يعني يتحملها حتى لو كانت القصة طويلة وما يقولها زي ما هالايام وجعتيني راسي اعطيتيني ايدك استغفر خبريني من اخيش اعطيني من الاخر كل الرجال اكثر الرجال اعطيني من الاخر بس بتقول لك تعلمت هاي الشغله الحلوه.
This hadith, Hadith Zarue with Zarue, the scholar drew out of it too many things. Like we mentioned some of them. That the Prophet ﷺ is patient. He pampers his wife. He lets her talk. He summer with her. You know, he spends time with her during the night. That's what we call it, the summer. You know, he goes outside with her. He walks with her. He takes care of her. He listens to her. You know, and all of these things you could draw out of this. I cannot be able to tell you all the benefits that we can get out of this. I cannot tell you, even though, by the way, this hadith has been talked about and explained, and people took it in so many ways. Books are written about this hadith. I cannot summarize everything, within the period of an hour or hour and a half. And all what we talked about, imagine that I'm just going to give you a hint of what's going on. All what we talked about is one side. There are other sides. Why the Prophet ﷺ did not stop and he made a comment about each one of those ladies. That's what the scholar asked the question. Why didn't he make a comment? Like, for example, when the first lady said, زوجي لحم جبل غث. Zawji is like the meat of a camel. It's no good, and it is bad, and it is at the top of the mountain, and it's not easy to get to, and it is not something favorable to take and eat. Why wouldn't the Prophet ﷺ say, Ya Aisha, a lady should not speak about her husband that way. This is not nice. Some scholar said, if you hear something wrong, you should immediately correct it. And the Prophet ﷺ said, من رأى منكم منكرا فليغيره بيده فإن لم يستطع فبلسانه فإن لم يستطع فبقلبه فليس بعد ذلك مثقال ذرة من إيمان. Hadith reported by Imam Muslim. If you see something wrong, you correct it by your hand. You cannot just say it is wrong. He could have said here it is something wrong. If you cannot, change it by your heart. If you have not done any of those two things, that means you do not have any iman in your heart. Hadith reported by Muslim. So what? The point here, the scholar said, it is not. Aisha radiallahu anha knows this is wrong. We're not talking about Muslim ladies speaking up. So if we want to open the subject for debate and talking and all the ideas, will never get done. But the idea is, those ladies are doing something bad, Some ladies, number 4 and number 5 and number 11, they did something very good. Or number 8 also, when she said that my husband is so nice and you know, there are few ladies spoke good. We need to learn that, you know, about the nature of men, the nature of women, of wives. We need to learn, and we need to take the benefit out of all of this. Now, what is the benefit when the lady talks bad about her husband? What's the benefit we get? The benefit I get that I shouldn't be bad to my wife. I shouldn't be stingy. I should let her some freedom. I should respect her. So those things that we have heard from those ladies speaking bad about their husband, that means I am hearing the hadith. I should get the benefit, because I know the first lady, other scholars, they said, the ladies that you have seen in this hadith, it is not only one single lady. It's a group of ladies that were represented by this, by the first one. There's another group, they're represented by the second one. So as if Aisha radiallahu anha is giving us the description of all the women divided into 11 groups. And you, the husband, hearing this hadith, find yourself which one of those men you are. You see? And try to adapt to the goodness and stay away from the bad. You might be stingy. You know, ask your wife, what did you do with the rice? What did you do with the meat? What did you do with that? From this hadith, you should learn to be, you know. My husband is fahid. That means he goes inside the house and sleep. Other scholars said fahid means he walks around, he does not look. There are so many explanations. He does not look at the farisa. شو الفريسة بقى؟
Pray.
Huh?
Pray.
The prey. He does not look at the prey directly. He goes like this and his eyes is looking at it. And this is, they call it in Arabic, at-taghaful. He makes himself does not see. You see? And so when they ask Al-Ahnaf Abu Qais radiallahu anhu, and they said how a person could be the master in his family and his tribe, he said by being taghaful. Make yourself does not see many things. Make yourself does not hear many things. You come home, you're grouchy, your face is upside down, you know, whatever you have, and your wife is doing everything possible for you. نحن عندنا بالشام يقولوا شعر لك أصابع على 10 مشان تكون سعيد. You know, like candles, all her fingers, she light them up for you to be happy, and he didn't say nothing. So she said, as she's going to the kitchen, she said something. Make yourself does not hear anything. You know, taghaful. She's mad. She has the right. So make taghaful. So to learn, there's so much to learn out of this hadith. And there are so many hadith. So what I have done is, I have prepared so many hadith. I have prepared so many.
بس دقيقة علشان ما نطولش عليهم عشان المرة الجاية. Ladies, the halaqah is over, but it looks like it's very interesting and we want to hear more and more. So if you have to go, we understand. But if you want to stick with us, because the ladies have too many questions today. Anyone who wants to stay, please stay, and anyone who have to leave, we're not stopping. جزاكم الله خير. تفضل.
I have, for each of those points that they mentioned in the hadith, I have done my homework to the best of my ability. So I have gathered a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ for each one of those points. Rather than to make it long and boring, I'm going to give to Sister Maisa this one here, and she can take those hadith if she likes, and she can choose from them, and she can, you know, share it with you, and they might be helpful to understand what we should do, what we should not do. If there are another lady who speaks Arabic and can understand my handwriting, I have a few copies here to give out. If somebody want to take a copy, Jazakumullah khair, you can take a copy. And I'm going to say, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam wa barak ala Sayyidina